Hey guys, what's up? It's Bria at Wicked Quail and Pork. I realized that we have not done a whole lot of teaching about pigs, even though that's our primary thing here is the pigs. So today's video, and I apologize ahead of time, I didn't make a video for like 2 weeks. I fell while ice fishing and actually had a concussion and whiplash in my neck. It was terrible. So that's why there was no video last week. However, this week there is going to be a video, and what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the different cuts that you can ask for when you take a pig to butcher. So when you raise your pig yourself, you have so many options, so many nice things, and also I'm going to explain a little bit about if you choose what cuts, what you will get taken away at that point, because some parts of the pig you can only get one or the other out of. So let's chat about that. First thing you should do when you start raising a pig, don't wait until it's almost ready. You get that piglet, you find yourself a butcher, and you get yourself a butcher appointment, because they will be booked. Okay, butchers are super busy. There's never enough of them. A lot of people raise their own pigs, so get yourself a butcher appointment. Find a good reputable butcher that's not going to screw you over. That's really important, because you're putting a lot of work and a lot of money into this animal, and you want back exactly what you want back at a fair price by somebody who knows what they're doing. So the first part of the pig we're going to chat about is the side of the pig. And there's really only a few cuts that come out of the side of the pig. You're talking racks of ribs, ground pork and or sausage, bacon, and pork belly. That's really it. Now, a good butcher should either allow you to choose to bring home your bacon fresh and cure it yourself, or they should be able to smoke it or cure it for you. Our butcher even does nitrate free, which is really awesome. A lot of our customers really like that. So again, finding a good butcher is crucial to raising a pig and feeling rewarded about it when you get the meat back. The other thing is, very often we won't get back the racks of ribs. They're not high sellers. They kind of just sit in the freezer. And so what happens if you choose to opt out of the racks of ribs is that will go into more ground pork or sausage. So the next part of the pig that I'm going to explain to you is the shoulder. Now, the shoulder of the pig, it's only a handful of cuts that you're getting out of that. You're getting more sausage or ground pork. You're getting the butt roasts, which, yes, the butt roasts actually come from the shoulder. And you're getting what some butchers call like pork steaks, fresh steaks, blade steaks. They have a few different names, but all it is like when you get a ham steak and you know that's obviously cut off the ham. It's the same concept, only off the shoulder. And those are great if you want like a nice, and my butcher also will offer to smoke those for us and smoke the shoulder for us if we opt for that. Usually we don't, but those front shoulder steaks can taste pretty good smoked. So again, finding a butcher that has those options, you ask around, ask what they have for options, figure it out, look at their cut sheet. They should give you a sheet of paper that has cutting instructions, and that's really important. Hi. And that's really important. If they're not giving you a piece of paper and saying, here, fill this out, we want your cutting instructions, then they don't really have a very organized way of keeping track of those, and you might want to steer clear of that particular butcher. So you also have the hind leg. So we just talked about the front shoulder. Now you've got the back leg as well. That's where you get your hams, your ham steaks, and your hocks. Now, a lot of people don't, at least a lot of people up here in the northern part of the country, they're not quite sure how to utilize things like smoked hocks, which is really too bad. And we do a lot of teaching about that, because smoked hocks are fantastic in soups, they're fantastic in beans. Really anywhere that you would use bacon or salt pork for flavoring, you can throw a smoked hawk in there as well. So the hind leg is pretty basic, and ham steaks are awesome to have, so make sure to ask your butcher about that if it's not on their cutting instruction sheet. I've had a butcher where it wasn't on their sheet, and I've also, in the butcher that we use now, it is really the biggest part of the pig, not necessarily the biggest part, but the part with the most options. Hi, you don't even like it when I pet you. You guys are foolish. The part of the pig with the most options is the loin. Now here you're gonna get a lot of your pork chops. You can get loin roast, bone in, or tenderloin roast, which is bone out, obviously. You can get some more sausage there. You can get like pork stir fry or stew meat there. You can get rib roast. You can get country style ribs. There's a lot of options in the loin of the pig. But this is the part where you want to pay attention and you want to do a little research, because some of those options are going to leave you missing out on others. The bone in, like loin roast is what my butcher calls it. That takes away from pork chops. So you get a really nice, really yummy, tender roast, but you're missing out. Those are all bone-in chops there. So there's a few things that it's gonna depend on what your family eats and what your preference is. And you just want to look into that and, go down through the list. And again, your butcher should know what you're talking about when you ask these questions. I've had a lot of questions from my butcher. Hey, if I get this, where does it take away from that? My butcher makes pancetta. That takes away from bacon. They make pepperoni. They make kielbasa, which all takes away from the sausage or ground pork. So really sit down, figure out what your family eats the most, look up recipes, figure out what cuts you're going to use the most, and then find a butcher that can provide all of that to you. And again, find a butcher that's organized. They have that cut sheets for you to fill out, so on and so forth. Educate yourself first. Make all that money and time worth it, because if you don't, you'll regret it. And I hate seeing people regret that, because they're awesome. They're so much fun, and it's totally store-bought pork is so bland compared to the pork that you'll raise at your house. I promise. You'll love it, and it will be worth it. But put the time and the effort into educating yourself about cuts, about your local butchers. I guarantee you'll want to raise a pig every single year after that if you do those things. So I'm gonna head inside. It's a little chilly out here. I don't have Kingston today, so I'm gonna get some garden planting done, and I hope to chat soon. Hopefully no more falling on the ice. I hope you guys have a great end of your work week.